When my dad left the Navy, and that was his identity. Remember we were talking about identity this morning? That is how he validated and defined himself, was the military. And so once he left that life, he lost his identity. And it was very depressing for him. And to deal with not having that structure and those stripes and that authority, and then he had to become a dad and a husband. How about that? You live over here in this world where you have total command. And then you have to leave that, where your identity's all over here. Then you have to become someone that you don't know how to be. A husband and a father. He has 7 kids, and it was a mess. The 60s, my brothers were turning 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Those of you young guys, the older among us know what that period in American history was like. It was a time of freedom, rebellion against authority, and my dad was the icon of authority. And that's the only way he knew how to manage the family, was through fear and threat, until they put him on his back. I kid you not. And they left at 17. And just the feelings of a man who fails at family. That's very depressing. You know, because you don't want to be a failure. Who wants to sign up for that? So anyway, I rolled in, right? I was like 5, 6, 7, rolling into Dad's, you know, feelings of failure, the leaving of his older boys, the marriage kind of, because of the lack of ability to do relationship. He was never trained. His dad died of an alcoholic coma when he was 11. So he had no dad. The Navy was his family. So I grew up in kind of that mix. And as a kid, you don't know what's going on with your parents. You don't know where they're really living on the inside and what their struggles are and all that stuff. And so I just knew he had a hard time connecting with me. And I didn't understand it. You know, I looked at other boys and I'm like, their dads, you know, play baseball with them and take them on trips and go fishing and hunting and all that stuff. I don't do anything with my pop. What's the deal? And so my dad would drive into the driveway, and I so wanted a connection with him that I would carry his briefcase in. He'd go get a glass of milk. I'd follow him to the fridge. I'd pour a glass of milk. I still remember those brown glasses that we would pour the milk in. And he would stand there and he'd put his hand on his side and drink a full glass of milk. I was right behind him. You know, just anything. Work. I knew that he liked work, so on the weekends I would work my tail off, sweep him out the garage, mow all 3 lawns. Just because he was there and I wanted to be with him while doing something. We wouldn't talk a lot, but at least we were together. And then when he was gone, I wanted to get to know him so bad. I'd steal his workbench keys and like look at his workbench and who is this man? You know. But as you grow older, pretty soon you're like, all right, well, if I'm not going to get the time and attention from him, I'll find time and attention from someone else. So that's where I just kind of launched my journey. And I like to say that I went through college and high school. You know, I went on that journey to discover yourself. And how do you fit? Where do you fit? Where do you belong? Who's gonna consider you valuable and want to spend time with you? You know, your teammates, your friends at school, your peers, your girlfriends, whatever. But by the time I was a senior, I was like, well, I still have this aching hole in my heart. So that's when one night I came home and I got on my knees and I prayed to Our Father. I started, Our Father who art in heaven, and I stopped and I said, Jesus, I want to see you. And that's pretty bold. And I don't come from a really highly religious background. All I knew was there was Jesus, and he's supposed to have the answer. So I said, Jesus, I want to see you. Kept saying it, and a very spooky, eerie, thick, warm, loving, accepting presence fell over my body physically that I can't, to this day, I couldn't explain then, but I know now was God's Spirit just going like this. And I didn't know what to do with it. So the next day I go to school and tell my best friend who's Jewish. This is how you know it's real, though. This is how you know. I didn't care. It's like right out of the New Testament. I'm like, hey, you're not going to believe what happened to me last night. I told Jesus I wanted to see him, and he showed up. And he's like, what? And I said, I don't know, but I'm different. I don't know what it is. I'm different. A week later, my brother comes out. He said, hey, I need to tell you about this experience. You're supposed to be the Christian in the family, because he became a born-again 4 years prior to that. Everybody went, yeah, he also was on LSD and pot. So we thought it was just a phase, but it wasn't. And I said, explain this to me. What is it? How does this work? And that's where he just said, okay, here's how it works. God loves you, has a plan for your life, but we're separated from Him. Through Christ, we can know and experience God's love and plan. You just need to say yes. Let me pray. That was July 2nd, 1982.